This is the issue that I've been having. How do we get around this? Now this is absolutely genius. I think this could be something new for nail art also. It's crazy. Right, we are back with another epic resin art video. How you doing? Now, I'm super excited for this. My head has been going round in circles all week trying to crack this for you guys. Many of you saw the previous video, hashtag 303, where we created these absolutely crazy effects in our resin art using scratch paper. Now, I did explain in that video that we had to bond it with epoxy to the scratch paper because UV resin really doesn't like to cure on like a black solid surface. This has taken me, again, all week to crack this for you guys. So please, please, please watch the whole video, interact with it. But let me show you the problem that I had when I was first initially doing this with UV resin. That way you'll get a kind of understanding how difficult this was to crack. So first of all, let me show you on this piece here. I'm just going to put a blob of my UV resin on this, and even with the beast of a lamp that I have, super powerful lamp, you'll see just how bad this goes. So I'm going to give that a cure under the beast. Okay, that's had 2 minutes under my lamp. Now watch this. If I take that away, as uncured resin, it hasn't transferred the black. This is what we want. Many of you in the comments said, oh, we could use rainbow scratch paper. You seem to be forgetting that we're not taking the backing paper, the white, we're not taking that. All we want is the actual surface scratch paper to transfer onto our designs. Rainbow scratch card, I mean, if you wanted to keep the rainbow scratch card in the resin, then that's absolutely fine. But all we want, it doesn't matter what color the background is, whether it's rainbow or white, all we want is this black surface to transfer. Now, ordinarily with UV resin, this won't work. The other way that I tried was transferring using a cabochon. You've seen me do this many times. So what we do is we apply the UV resin to the design. I'll show you with this as well very quickly, so stay with me guys. But you'll see how much this is kind of giving me a headache trying to crack. My bottle's running out. Okay, so I put the UV resin on and we do the transfer like you've seen me do. I don't care about bubbles in this. I don't care if it's not even fully covered. Right, I'm now going to give that a cure. Okay, so again, that's had 2 minutes under a 48 watt beast of a lamp. This is the issue that I've been having. This is why I bought the epoxy version. So how do we get around this? How do we make sure the UV resin bonds, or how do we transfer the black from the scratch paper to a cabochon? Now this is absolutely genius. So here are the designs that I've already pre-done with the spirograph. I have improved slightly, haven't I? Still a long way to go, but yeah. Right, I was sitting here racking my brains, and to the right of me, I have like a pile of junk that I've not put away. There was this sheet of, what's this called? Is it acetate? It's just plastic. This come on, I think, on my Oyumaru packaging. I used it once for something else. And I thought, what about resin paper? What if we were to try and do it on a very thin scale of UV resin? So I tried it, and to my amazement, it actually worked. So watch this. I'm going to apply, let's go with, we'll go with this one just to show you, because I'm going to make some more off camera and just show you the results at the end. So I'm going to apply some UV resin to the center of that. I'm going to take my sheet of whatever it is, plastic, and I'm just going to put that over the top. Now, I did try with the parchment paper, but the issue with that is that it didn't really cure evenly. Because this plastic is very flat, it keeps a very flat form when it's cured. So it turns out almost like a sticker, but it's not sticky, if you get my drift. And we just spread that out to the size roughly what we want for the cabochon to go over. And then we're just going to cure that onto scratch paper. Okay, so that has had, again, 2 minutes under my lamp. Now watch this. We peel away the paper. Look, this is incredible. So you can see it's already started to peel away from the backing, from the plastic. And this is thinner than a vinyl. This is really super, super thin. And this is how it's cured. This is how it's managed to cure. Now, it's shinier than what it would be with our normal resin paper. But the great thing now is that because it's so thin, we can now cure this to pretty much anything we want. And again, this is not limited to spirograph. You could do personal designs, you could use stencils, you could freehand, whatever you want. This is absolutely limitless. And it's handy if you haven't got like a vinyl cutting machine. You can do, yeah. I said to you in the last video about coasters. I mean, I managed to do it. I had a couple of issues. This was just a trial one. But this was just transferring from the scratch paper. But this was using epoxy. But we could, I think, create a bigger version of this. And because it's shiny on one side, I'm going to have trouble picking that up now, aren't I? Oh my goodness, where's my stick? That'll be easier. Because it's shiny on one side, that would stick to a mold. Face down, shiny side down. Take this coaster mold for example. You'd have to make sure there's no bubbles. But do you see where this could go? So that wouldn't float. We could then pour epoxy over the top. This mold's dull, so it's not sticking very well. But you get where I'm going. So we're left with almost like a sticker that's not sticky. That we can then transfer onto a cabochon. Really, really easily with no issues whatsoever. And I'll just very, very quickly show you on this one how it's done. I'm just going to fill this cavity up again so it's flush with the rim of the mold. Once that is cured, we can pop that out and just let that cool down for a minute or two. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks, and to all my subs. We are so close now to 130k. We are flying. Thank you very much. It is free to subscribe. Just hit that button. And the great thing about this is that I have actually tested this with a lower power lamp, and it does work. I don't want you thinking this is only possible with a beast of a lamp. I've tested this with my stereo, which is my normal. I think that's a 36 watt, but don't quote me. Yeah, it works perfectly as well. So all we need to do now is transfer this with, come on, there's got to be some left in you. Come on. Bear with me. I do like to get every last drop out of my resin bottles. Now I can place on my cabochon. That UV resin will spread to the sides. And we can then cure that again under the lamp. But we are going to flip it. So we're going to give it a minute on the top and then flip it and do a minute on the back. Just flip that over real quick. And here we have it. And it is completely cured. There's no uncured resin under there. And because it's so thin, it's really, really simple to just snip this excess off. Do not chuck it in the bin. Put it into your scraps pot and hide it in other pieces. It is, look, it is so easy to cut away that excess. Really easy. There we have the cabochon ready to do whatever we want with. Back it, whatever you want. This is where it gets limitless as well, because you can really make these pop with different color backgrounds. Just an example for this one, I'm going to go with some of my glitter from Jam Pop Glitter. It's OMG, oh my god, really, really funky. I'm not affiliated with Jam Pop Glitter, but I will put their website in the description box below. I do believe they ship worldwide. Just chuck some of that in there. Sit here patiently for my UV resin to run down the sides of my bottle so that I can get every last drop out. The bit I'd normally cut out on camera. And then of course you squeeze the bottle and the glitter just decides it wants to spray out of the pot. Give that a quick pat and then just apply a thin layer on the back. Now you do need to be careful with a backing layer because we've got that black layer. It's still, it's still potentially an issue, but I haven't had an issue yet with my test runs. But just make sure you're not piling on too much so that it doesn't cure. You want your resin to be fully cured. And again, you want to cure that, flip it and cure it on the other side just to make sure. Okay, that one is all cured. I'm going to quickly make some more and I'll show you at the end. Well, the end is only going to be a couple of seconds for you. So here you can see I'm doing 3 designs at the same time. So you could do multiple all at once. And I actually think that nail artists could use this technique. Maybe if obviously instead of using UV resin, like a clear UV gel, I think they could transfer like unique designs. Imagine the possibilities, especially with nail art. I think this could be something new for nail art also. It's crazy. The trouble is with my brain is now I've said nail art, my brain's wandered. I know I said it would be a couple of seconds until you see the reveal, but I need to see if this works. So cat eye as a backing. Let's see if this works. This is the code and the brand. Again, I'll pop the link in the description box below. It may not work. I'm just going to apply the cat eye gel onto the back of the piece. Going to take my magnet wand and just manipulate. I'm not a pro when it comes to stuff like this, so I'm probably doing it all wrong. Try and get a flash. If you don't know how this works, you're better off looking up cat eye nail art, because again I don't really know what I'm doing here. And just give that a cure. And just a very thin black layer on the back. And a final cure. Okay, I was pretty amazed at how that one just turned out. So I'm switching colors. This is from a different set. This is from like a box set. I'm going to switch colors. And this time what I'm going to try is applying the cat eye in areas, manipulating it, curing, doing a different layer, manipulating it, curing, and just build up, and hopefully I can get like a multi-flash effect. Fingers crossed. So you see that kind of flashy pattern. Now to finish it off, my brain is telling me to apply one big coat over the back and do like a straight line down the middle. And the last one I just backed in a pink glitter. Now a quick idea for you, if you are going to just have a little play around with this, I mean it's quite therapeutic. What I'd suggest is if you lay your cabochon on, if you're doing like freehand stuff, give me a second, lock my focus. Place the cabochon that you want the design in and just trace around it on the scratch paper. And then you have your little window. You could do Christmas designs, Christmas trees. You could do so much with this, like just freehand and have a little play around with it. Now this works with UV resin, it's so much quicker. We can kind of see the results in like 10 minutes. It's crazy. Okay, we're all done. We've got a few here. I've got a couple more on the side that I've pre-made as well. So variation of different things, and you can also you could do the same thing as we did in the previous video with the dichroic films if you want. It would still work with this. So this is the first one that we did, and there's just something about that glitter that really does finish these off really nicely. I mean, we are limited with the black. I've tried looking for different color scratch paper, like on the front instead of a black layer on the front, but I can't seem to find any. So this was the first one with a cat eye. It's very similar to like a chameleon powder. My mold, I need a new mold. There's an element of a flash there. It's not as flashy as I'd wanted it to be, but that one was the better one actually. I wasn't too keen on this one's quite dark. But you can see that color shift. But again, the possibilities are crazy. So this is the one that I just finished with a pink. I don't really use pink on my channel much, do I, guys? So I thought I'd give you something a little bit different. Sparkles into a gold. It's really nice, and a purple. Loving this technique though, I really am. And again, I think with nail art, you could tweak this, you could make it work. I mean, I don't give up. It's taken me a week to crack this for UV resin. And I think a nail artist could quite easily work a way of getting this to work. So this was just the random Christmas tree design that I rushed. You see, I finished the stars with one color, not that it really shows, and the tree in a different color. But it's just a quick, just to show you the potential that you could just very, very quickly knock something up or take your time. It's entirely up to you. But unique, it's absolutely unique, and it's now doable with UV resin. Really, really quick and easy. So, right, I've got lots of editing to do because this video's got to be up tonight. But as always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment if you haven't subbed. Again, it is free. Hit that button for me. Let's get to 30k. 130k. Loving that flowery design in the middle of this one. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, and if you're not following me on Insta, go over there. I've just hit 100k on there, so go and follow me on Insta also. You get sneak peeks of kind of videos that could be coming up on here. Right, hope you enjoyed that one. See you for the next one. Bye for now.